Yeah, okay. Formal education is what? It's a process. It shows that you went through years of learning how to ask the right questions, sit there, do your homework. It's a marker showing that you're a functional member of society, pretty much, right? Um, cool, great. The thing about knowledge is you can learn it, and so we're talking about programs that like this. This is a program. This is formal education. You might not think of it as such, and a lot of people think that by having a formal education, they're getting a certain type of candidate. And you can have all the education you want. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're qualified for the role. You can have all the
True,
certifications. It doesn't mean you're qualified for the role. What
true.
will help you is by engaging with that organization, understanding their business, reaching out to that company, asking for informative interviews, making sure they understand who you are. You might be the most talented person, more talented than a PhD, have more perspective, more ability to do something, but guess what? If they don't know you, they can't have that conversation. And sending a resume into a black box that might be read by AI, might not be reviewed, might have too many people applying to it, you're always going to be coming from a position where, remember, business skills. So are you doing the business skills? Like, are you forecasting? Are you going out there and doing greenfield, which is, are you building relationships with new accounts or organizations? Are you doing the steps that you'll have to do in your day job if you do get hired to get the job? And I think a lot of times we lose sight of this gatekeeper mechanism that is education. But let me tell you something true. I did not graduate high school. I tested out. There you go. So even then, right? If I were to go out and say, "Oh yeah, does my qualification cover it?" You're always worried, but the reality is, it does not take away from my abilities to deliver, to learn, to execute, to get better, and to bring diverse skills to a project or a company. And so those things are going to happen where I talk to people and they can see that. The qualification is there because it shows you did the work. You were able to commit to a process. Same thing that's going to happen when you get a job. They're going to ask you to sit at your desk and do work. That's what certifications and diplomas and everything else count for.
All right, thank you, Shagun. Then the next question is from Adironke Esther. And she's asking, how can we find mentorship programs in the Salesforce ecosystem?
I'll say this, raise your hand. You saw Demi and Renee just basically said, okay, he said one sentence, but I know Renee said yes, because that's how Renee helps everyone who comes to them with the opportunity to learn, because we learn from y'all. Like you have to ask us, hey, is there a mentor program that I can set you up with? Is there another professional organization that's another community that you don't know about that will help you get to your next step of your career as well? So there's programs out there. There's stuff on the Trailblazer community. There's programs within the communities. There's things in associations. But what you have to think about is, am I going to show up to make the ask to get to know someone so I can make a determination, like Demi said, that I actually want to work with you because we have some commonality, or I want to be around you because I think you're a positive person that when I get on the phone with you, I know when I deal with all my problems of the day, I at least know for that 15 to 30 minutes to an hour, I'm going to have the best engagement I ever had in my life. I'm going to leave inspired. I'm going to feel positive. I'm going to see someone hustling who's doing it, and I will be able to suffer through my job if I have to do that for another month until I see your face again. That's the power of what you bring to your mentor. You're that hope, that inspiration, that thing that they don't see otherwise. View yourself as the prize, and you will be the prize.
Well, thank you so much, Shagun. So the third question, this from Azim Idris. He said, for early career professionals, what qualities make you personally willing to invest your time and guidance in someone?
We maybe someone else will apply. Demi,
Yeah.
you want to go for it?
Yeah, can you just say the question again? Sorry, Mesh.
All right. So for early career professionals, right? What qualities make you personally willing to invest your time and guidance in someone?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the times it's not something which is personal and people go and pick their favorites and help them. I think many people like helping people. And if you take one step forwards, we will take one step forward. So if you extend that olive branch, you reach out, and even if you say something like, I really just want to navigate a career in Salesforce, but I really don't know how to do it. You've taken initiative, which is more than what most people do. A lot of people, you know, they sit there and they hope and they hope and they hope, but they don't necessarily take the first step forwards. And I mean, it might take you 30 seconds just to message someone and say, can we just have a virtual coffee and let's just get to know each other? Because remember as well, not only does it have to be right for the mentor, i.e. the mentor thinks that they can help you, but also you need to look at the mentor and say, do they have maybe a role that I'm interested in? Do they have shared values with me? Do they maybe see the world from a similar perspective? Do I think they're going to put time in to help me? And I think when you find that relationship with the other person, that they're, you know, you as a pair kind of become unstoppable, because that person will do whatever they can to help you, and you will also do whatever you can to help yourself. So I think just reach out, even if you don't 100% know what it is you want. Just a simple, I'm looking for my next career move, or I want to become more skillful. Can you possibly just spend 15 minutes discussing ways in which you can help me? And you'd be so surprised how much can materialize from that.
All right, thank you so much, Demi. This one is from Daniel Albo. He said, I recently came across the Salesforce ecosystem through my internship application with Ziti, and I'm new to it. I would love to know how I can become an active part of the Salesforce community and also position myself to thrive in the Salesforce ecosystem and industry. Okay, for this, I think, Daniel, you can reach out to us on Ziti. You can reach out to us in Ziti, and we'll put you to, since you already have contact with Ziti and you're part of the internship. All right, let me see if there's another question in the chat. If not, we will just go to the people that are raising their hands.
Let's start with Onine.
Okay, yeah. Onine, over to you.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me okay, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. My name is Amy. Currently, I work as a product manager on the Salesforce platform, and that is new to my organization. Now, what I've been doing, and Adeshala has kind of introduced me to, you know, working on going back on trade heads and trying to do, you know, some sort of work and all that in my private org. However, because I do not really do that on a day-to-day basis, I'm learning some things on Trailhead, but I'm a product manager. And so I do not interact with all of the learnings as much as I should to keep me abreast and to make me remember what I've learned. So I'm kind of learning in a vacuum, if you get what I mean. Now, my question is, how do I, you know, learn and get onto projects that would keep me you know, abreast, and then keep me on to keep understanding what I've learned and not to forget them at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're gonna forget everything you learn. I mean, it's. I'm gonna be transparent here. We see kids who, I don't know. I used to love summer school because I would forget half of everything I learned for 2 months. I was just forced to do 12 hours of my day learning, right? I think that it's not just necessarily about instant recall to that particular code or that project. I think that what you're doing as a project manager is really important. You're understanding the business, you're understanding a solution, you're understanding the challenges. You're then having to negotiate and collaborate to get buy-in for what your solution might be. You're building a go-to-market to basically say how it's going to sell. So I think that there's a reality of the fact that skills in everyone, no matter what you do, if you ask me to go program right now, I will probably take a little more time to program. And guess what? I have a choice to make. I can do it for learning purposes, but is that really going to be where my career takes me? Or is it going to be, I can build like as a product manager, I'm like, okay, are you a solution architect? That's where you could end up going And you have to think about it from that perspective of each step, you're learning more about what's needed for your role. And if you go to another role where you have to do that work, you'll probably end up getting better at it. But you're in a role right now where you have the opportunity to grow in a different way. Demi, knock it out of the park, please.
I couldn't agree more. I think sometimes we get so excited when we see, oh my God, there's AI and there's another product and there's another feature, and we really, really want to learn it all and put it into practice. But I think this is where the career planning is really, really important, because arguably you can spend every moment of every single day learning something, but what does it mean for you when it comes to that wider picture? Because if you're a product manager, that career path is really, really different to a developer, to a functional consultant, to a delivery director. So ask yourself, why is it that I want to know this? And through me becoming very proficient in doing it, what do I hope to achieve? I think when you start with that, you will then determine, do I actually need it for my role, or is it something I just really enjoy doing? And if it's something you really enjoy doing, like what Jennifer was saying, you can come up with, say, your own fictitious scenarios in a sandbox, or you can reach out to the project teams and say, can I spend maybe 10% of my time doing this? But keep your eye on that bigger picture. What is it that you actually want to achieve, and why do you deem this as being important?
Thank you, Demi. I have a question. Yes, my hands are up. I think I have a question to the speakers. We have talked about certification. There's a current issue that AI has brought to the ecosystem. Everyone is aware, all companies are aware, is the entry-level jobs are kind of getting saturated, and people are not getting into the market or into the industry. And I hear that a lot is becoming more and more difficult. Application for Salesforce admin role receive thousands of applications for just one role. So I want to hear from you what advice you can give to people who are listening to just stand out, because I think that's what is coming to, because with the rise of AI, people can make their CV look very, very good and then just go to get the spot. Maybe they don't have the skills, but they can get the spot. So how would you advise entry-level people to stand out?